What's going on, everyone? It's your boy, the Fantasy Football Almanac, back at it with another Best Ball Draft video. Today we're hopping in a Best Ball Mania 3 draft with the 8th pick here. $25 entry fee for the chance to win $2 million, $10 million in total prizes. So we are shooting for the absolute highest ceiling. Before we fully hop in, please go down, leave a like on this video, leave a comment, let me know how you think I did, whether or not you like the draft, and some of your biggest sleepers in fantasy football this season. And subscribe to the channel so you can dominate your league mates. And turn on that notification bell so you don't miss another video. With that out of the way, we got Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, Christian McCaffrey, and Jonathan Taylor off the board. Very, very standard first 4 picks. We're probably going to have Jamar Chase here. Maybe Austin Eckler coming off the board. One of these two guys. Wouldn't be surprised if it was Austin Eckler here, but I personally would take Jamar Chase because he does have higher upside. Derrick Henry comes off the board at 5 instead. A little bit surprising here. There's pretty much no chance we get Jamar Chase, but it would have been awesome here. The only other player I would like is Austin Eckler, but we don't get him either. Instead, we are taking Stefan Dix. We'll play it pretty safe, go with ADP here. Stefan Dix is a very, very talented player. Should have outperformed where he was last year. Only 118 of his targets were deemed catchable out of 160-something, and should have had more touchdowns. He got targeted a ton in the end zone, but was just unlucky in that department last season. So I think he is a guy due for positive regression in both departments. And if that's the case, I mean, Stefan Diggs will be pretty dang good next season. That's why he's being drafted right alongside the Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and Cooper Kupps of the world. Normally he does go behind them, though. I mean, he is just a rung below these 3 other guys here, but I think it is fair to consider him in the same tier. I don't personally, but I think it is fair to do so. And then we got Joe Mixon, Dalvin Cook, and Zavante Adams. Zavante is a guy I am a little nervous about this season, just because he is going to, one, a new team that he's never played with before, and there's more target competition than he's ever seen before in his career since 2017. So, I mean, I think it's going to be an entirely unique situation for Davante Adams. He still will be an absolute beast, but I am a little nervous to take him on his current ADP because of those things. We got Najee Harris on the board still, CeeDee Lamb on the board still, Saquon Barkley. All these guys I would be more than fine with here. Pairing Stefan Diggs with, I would be fine with any of these guys. We are 2 picks away now, meaning we are guaranteed one of them. And I don't want Travis Kelce, honestly. I just don't. So maybe actually here he is a value, but I'm not a fan of taking him. Oh my god. There's so many guys we like here. I mean, I kind of want to take CD here, to be 100% honest with you. This is so tough. There's like 3 guys I like here. I would have preferred to have my choice of one of them. I feel like if I have to go with anybody, though, nah, I'm going to go with CD here. Even though I probably should have taken Najee, realistically, I'm a little nervous about Najee's potential ceiling. I think he was an absolute touch machine. I mean, he had 381 total touches last season, 307 attempts, and 74 receptions. That doesn't even include his pretty much everything else about him. That doesn't even include his targets, total routes run. I mean, nothing. So that's why I am a little concerned with Najee. I mean, that's almost certainly going to be going down. I don't think his efficiency is going to be going up that much. With another season in the NFL, I don't think he's going to get much more efficient with his touches, and then I'm just a little nervous about that. Either way, though, I kind of wish I had the 6th pick. I mean, that would just be insane right about now. I would love to have Jamar Chase and Saquon Barkley. It doesn't happen, though. We get a nice pairing. I do like having these 2 wide receivers here, considering it still is a fairly unique team combination. I mean, not as unique as it would have been had I gone Najee Harris here, but I'm fine with that. I don't think I'm a little bit lower on Najee. I probably should have taken him there, though, realistically, and had this Diggs-Najee pairing. But, you know, you live and you learn. I also do think this CeeDee Lamb combo is really pretty nice. We could potentially get somebody like Kyle Pitts in the next round, Josh Allen in the next round. There's tons of wide receivers I like here, James Conner. There's so many guys I like in this 3rd round range now that I used to not as much. But it seems like value is going to be falling this draft with the way the board has looked. Mark Andrews, notably still on the board here, a guy who's been dropping further and further down. I can't imagine him dropping much, much further than this, but sometimes it does happen. This guy's got Jonathan Taylor and T. Higgins. Pretty nice team combination here. Let's see where he goes. He does go Mark Andrews here. Tyreek Hill coming off the board. mean, I would love Nick Chubb here. That would present a very, very unique team combination. I don't know if it'll happen, though. But we shall see. I do like this team combination, though. Let me know what you think about Stefan Dix and CeeDee Lamb down below in the comments. I would be interested to hear about it. Just because I know there's a pretty unique team combination. I mean, it's not something you see too often in these best ball leagues. We got DJ Moore coming off the board as well. Nick Chubb still on this board. I mean, that's just crazy to me. I would probably have to take him here. I imagine Kyle Pitts will come off the board before I pick as well. Kyle Pitts is a guy I honestly would kind of like here. Guy's got the ceiling of a god in fantasy football here. A guy I've been going on more and more, as I feel like a lot of other people have. With his ADP going up, I mean, I don't really see much more room for it to go up, but he's going to be an absolute beast this season. I mean, there's just no doubt in my mind about it. I would also be fine taking Courtland Sutton here, realistically. Kyle Pitts coming off the board. And yes, I would rather have Sutton than Michael Pittman or Keenan Allen, so I probably will be going Sutton here. I'm just having a pretty good wide receiver core here. We might be going 4 wide receivers in our first 4 picks unless Josh Allen falls to us, which he does not. So we're going to be going Courtland Sutton. We get Courtland Sutton and CeeDee Lamb and Stefan Diggs here. We have a really pretty crazy wide receiver core. I am a little nervous that James Conner and ETN both will be off the board, but I do like getting Courtland Sutton a ton here. So I'm not too worried about it. We're gonna have to find wide receivers later, but I'm fine taking Gabe Davis in the next round, taking shots after shots here. There's a lot of players I would really be fine with. Allen Robinson I would be fine with. Pittman notably still on the board as well. Hollywood Brown I would be fine with. Any of these type of guys. So we shall see exactly how the board falls, but I think it does make sense. I mean, if we could get ETN here, though, that would be absolutely phenomenal. And I think ETN might fall because, James Robinson keeps climbing up and up and up these boards here. This guy's got 2 running backs here, so he most likely will not be going ETN. This guy could go ETN realistically, but neither of these 2 guys probably will. Because they both, like, if this guy doesn't go ETN here, we might as well lock up ETN at this point. Because these guys both need wide receivers here. Yeah, they need wide receivers here. This guy's the only dude who needs a running back. And he goes Terry McLaurin here. So we should have a pretty decent chance of getting ETN, which is really pretty nice. If not, maybe I was considering reaching on Breece Hall here, but probably not. Let's see. I mean, they could still go Travis Etienne here. Dalvin Cook and James Conner are great, but maybe you just want a really unique team combination and just having insane running backs to power you through, not having to take another running back till around like 12 or something. It could be an interesting strategy, but we'll see what he does. Depends. Let's see. CT Boone. He does go Travis Etienne here. A little bit annoying. We're going to go Marquise Hollywood Brown and just have 4 wide receivers here in the first 4 rounds. I'm pretty fine with this strategy, considering we can get Monty at 65, potentially, A.J. Dillon at 65. If I was taking a guy like that at 56, we could also potentially get Kittle at 56. And then we probably want somebody like Russ, because we do have Sutton. I mean, Russ or, yeah, pretty much just Russ. I would be fine with Jalen Hurts as well, as always. I'm a huge Jalen Hurts fan, so I would be fine with both these guys. And just going really running back heavy later in the draft, probably hammering like 5 or 6 backs rather than just taking 4. Considering this wide receiver core is absolutely insane. I mean, it's just ridiculous how good this wide receiver core is. But we shall see. I mean, whoever gets close to 56, we'll see. I would love if Kittle made it back to us 56, though. I mean, that would just be awesome. Like, if I could pair up, and probably not. I mean, we'll see. But I really would like Kittle here because it gives us, like, really a ton of stability at 2 positions, and then we just need to figure out other 2. Maybe there will be, like, a running back that falls as well. I mean, I don't really want Cam Akers at that point, but maybe if he falls to us at 65, there's potential. A.J. Dillon could potentially fall to us, who I would be fine with. Montgomery's there. Lazard. Lazard is a sneaky guy at 65. But I think there are other guys I like better than Lazard there. We got Lamar and Herbert both coming off the board here a little bit early. Are actually about at ADP. I mean, this is pretty much ADP here. Pat Mahomes should be off the board soon. I really hope he doesn't make it back to us at my pick. I don't want him. Darren Waller finally getting passed by George Kittle and ADP. Thank God. I mean, it sucks to say, but I would much rather have George Kittle than Darren Waller. I don't know what the Darren Waller hype train was all about. Now he's having contract holdouts and everything like that. I just can't trust like that. I can't I can't trust a guy who's one holding out a contract, two is in the same offense as Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow. I mean, targets are going to be sapped from all three of these guys inevitably, aside from maybe Devontae Adams, because Devontae Adams is that level of talent. But there's just too many question marks in this offense for me to really try and invest. Derek Carr never had a 30 touchdown season in his entire career. Not enough targets to really fully go around and give Devontae Adams that ridiculous target share that you would expect. And then same thing with Darren Waller, same thing with Hunter Renfrow. I mean, these guys just cannibalize each other's targets, and that's my problem with this offense. But either way, Breece Hall somehow still on the board. This guy has 0 running backs. I'm assuming he does go running back here. Pretty interesting build. He does have the Justin Herbert, Mike Williams stack here. He goes Brandon Cooks. Wow. Okay, so Brandon Cooks is off the board. We are 4 picks away now. This guy's got 3 running backs already, assuming he doesn't go running back here. Leonard Fournette, this guy might go running back here. I mean, if I saw Breece Hall on the board at this point, I would probably want to go Breece Hall. Unless something like major happened to him, which I don't think it did. George Kittle off the board, a little unfortunate here. What can you do? This guy's got 3 backs here, and his backs are insane. I mean, Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb, he's dominating rushing yards. I mean, these are the 2 best like rushers probably in the entire league, just pure rushers. I mean, Chris Godwin's a guy who's kind of eyeing up as well. We might get sniped here on Breece Hall. We probably will, realistically. Breece Hall just come off the board. I don't want DK really. J.K. Dobbins, interesting here. But honestly, I would prefer A.J. Dillon here over both of these guys. I know that might sound a little crazy, but I'm really high on A.J. Dillon this season. So we're going to go with A.J. Dillon here. We're going to go with A.J. Dillon as our RB1. It does seem a little nerve-wracking, but if Aaron Jones does go down for any portion of the season, A.J. Dillon automatically ascends to being where he is right now at pick 56 to probably like a top 12 pick-ish. I mean, he would probably be drafted similarly to DeAndre Swift. And I'm getting him at a huge discount here because I think this offense is going to be a lot more 1A, 1B type of thing, more so than Aaron Jones is the dominant running back here. That's why I'm not as much so bought into Aaron Jones, and I really, really am bought into A.J. Dillon. We are 6 picks away, though. I mean, Jalen Hurts, if he makes it back to us, would be awesome here. I would gladly take that. If not, there's still a lot of other guys I like. I would take Dobbins here as well. I would be fine with that, just because we do need a running back here. Cam Akers could be an interesting guy as well. I know he's going to get faded into oblivion, and I am a little nervous myself. I mean, I would probably just rather have... Okay, so Jalen Hurts is off the board. I mean, I would probably rather just have... Henderson, or yeah, Darrell Henderson straight up than Cam Akers. Not straight up, but like, I mean, I would rather have him. So that's probably why I'm not going to be going Cam Akers here. Kyler Murray's still on the board. We might be getting Kyler. We might be taking Trey Lance. One of these two, probably. One of these 2 quarterbacks here. Honestly, I might be going Trey Lance. Trey Lance ceiling is absolutely insane, and I know I have Hollywood, so I should be stacking him and Kyler. Kyler's off the board anyways. We're going to go Trey Lance here. We're going to go Trey Lance. Screw it. We're going Trey Lance. Trey Lance being drafted pretty much near his ceiling now, but, I mean, if he turns out to be a good quarterback, we know the rushing is going to be there, so, I mean, he could easily finish as top 5 fantasy option. This is a very crazy team here. We do have 4 receivers with our first 4 picks, and then A.J. Dillon and Trey Lance. We're going to need to figure it out pretty badly at running back and tight end as well. Tight end is going to be an interesting position. I mean, potentially if Schultz is on the board, we could get Schultz. Lazard, we could get Lazard. Chase Edmonds still on the board as well. I totally forgot about Chase Edmonds. What pick are we? We're pick 80, right in line to draft him. If not, Tony Pollard is sort of fine by me. Um, but I'll most likely end up going Chase Edmonds here, unless ridiculous value falls to us, which I don't think it will. As Alan Lazard just come off the board, that was the only guy I was talking about when I said ridiculous value falls to us. Yeah, I love Alan Lazard though. Starting to get pushed up a little high, but I'm still absolutely fine with it. What is he, the wide receiver 35 right now? In terms of ADP, I think. I mean, I would prefer him over a lot of these guys here, realistically. Like, definitely over D Hop, definitely over Thielen, definitely over Michael Thomas, DK Metcalf, yes. Rashad Bateman, yes. I prefer him over a lot of these guys because you're getting the wide receiver one for Aaron Rodgers. There's enough said. It's pretty much it. And during the second half of the season, we saw that trust begin to develop between Alan Lazard and Aaron Rodgers. But anyways, if you guys do enjoy these type of videos, please go down, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. It really would mean the world to me. Every single subscriber does help. And I want you guys to absolutely dominate your fantasy football leagues this season. The best way to do that is to subscribe, turn on that notification bell. With that out of the way, we're back. We got Amon-Ra St. Brown creeping up the board yet again. I think a lot of the Amon-Ra St. Brown hype recently has been coming from Hard Knocks. I mean, he does look like scary, honestly. He looks really, really good, and he named all the wide receivers who were drafted ahead of him. I mean, this guy means business, that's for sure. But, I mean, I don't know how this situation is exactly going to work. I think he will still be really, really good, but I'm a little concerned. Dameon Pierce, that's just too high. That's just way too high, man. I get Dameon Pierce is going to be crawling up these boards, but I would not want him over Chase Edmonds. I would not want him over Clyde at this point. Josh Jacobs is where I think it starts to become a debate, potentially. We do have Dalton Schultz still on the board here. I mean, that could be interesting. Chase Edmonds off the board. I'm torn between Russ and Dalton Schultz here. Either one I would be fine with. Does kind of stink. I mean, Tony Pollard could be interesting too because he's getting snaps at wide receiver, set for roll in the slot. That's crazy. Yeah, I might actually take Tony Pollard here. A guy who, if he is getting snaps out of the slot, I mean, why not take a chance on someone like that? I mean, that's just absolutely insane. Because if he's getting that Cordarrelle Patterson treatment, what more can you ask for from a running back turned wide receiver? I mean, that's just awesome. Like that, those kind of guys are like cheat codes. So I might be taking Tony Pollard here. I'm pretty sure I'm taking Tony Pollard. That or Dalton Schultz is an interesting debate. How many picks am I away? I probably should go Dalton Schultz here, actually. A lot of these guys don't have tight ends. We're going to go Dalton Schultz here and hope Pollard falls to us. I don't think he will. I think the odds are that he doesn't fall to us. But I'm fine with Josh Jacobs. This ADP, if he does fall, there's a lot of guys I like here. And we did get Dalton Schultz at a pretty fair value. Also, now that means we probably pick up Dak here as well, potentially. So it's kind of fine. It ends up being a pretty interesting situation for us. But I think Dalton Schultz was the right pick from a team building perspective, just to really secure all of our necessary positions, getting Trey Lance and Dalton Schultz. But now we need these backs to fall to us. We are definitely going to be able to take in 5 running backs, unless Pollard makes it back to us. Then there's potential we could take 4, but even then, I mean, it's dicey. The reason why I wanted to wait and on Pollard and these type of guys is because Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, and Clyde are all still on the board. Ramondre Stevenson's still on the board as well. These are all guys, I mean, I think one of them should make it back to us. I'm going to knock on some wood. But these are all guys that should or could make it back to us. At least one of them could. And if that's the case, I would be fine with pretty much any of these guys. So that's kind of my thought process with that. Tony Pollard would be interesting because we are going to be stacking up on these Dallas Cowboys all at values here, which would be really interesting. Whereas here we wouldn't have gotten a bit of value. We are 3 picks away now, meaning we are guaranteed one of these 4 guys, which is good. We're absolutely guaranteed now. There's no way around it. This guy's got Aaron Jones and Elijah Mitchell, though. He might not. He goes Clyde. Okay. we're in a pretty sticky situation now. I really want Pollard out of all three of these guys. Don't know if we'll get him though. I mean, this guy has three running backs here, and they're all three god tier running backs. So the odds he takes a running back are low, but never zero. This guy's also got two really, really good running backs here. He goes Olave. I mean, if we could get Tony Pollard here, I would jump for joy here. If not, I guess I'll take Jess Jacobs. But yeah, no, I think it's good. We probably won't be getting Dak at 104. I imagine the odds are pretty low on that, but I mean, I would love that. He goes Ramondre Stevenson. We're going to take Tony Pollard here, and I'm pretty happy about that. I'm actually really happy about that. Maybe Dak can fall to us at our next pick, and we could just fulfill this Dallas Cowboys stack all at values, all at good values, too. So, I mean, that would just be awesome. I mean, that would be the goal, but the odds are pretty low. And we are going to have to be taking a huge L week 9 if that's the case. Because Tony Pollard's got a week 9 bye. CD and Cortland have a week 9 bye. Dalton Schultz is a week 9 bye. And Dak is a week 9 bye. So we actually might avoid that then. But if Dak is on the board, I think the stack is too much to pass up on. And then we take Zach Wilson in the last round. I'm assuming Zach Wilson is a week 9 bye. He does not. He's got a week 10 bye. So we can just take Zach Wilson then in the last round or something. Even though it will be a tiny bit annoying. We do have a pretty good running back room here in A.J. Dillon and Tony Pollard. Or a pretty high upside running back room, rather. So I do think we shoot for the stars here, honestly. Try and get Dak Prescott. There are a lot of running backs still on the board, too, that I would be fine with here. Whether it be James Cook, whether it be Kareem Hunt. Still a little wary on Antonio Gibson. Hope he falls a little bit more, and then I might start taking him again. If he falls below Patterson here, so it's going in the Melvin Gordon, Kenneth Walker territory, it's at least worth a shot, I guess, to take him, because, I mean, at the same time, Brian Robinson could get injured, and if that happens, I mean, he'll still be pretty good, I guess, but, I mean, I wouldn't take him here. I wouldn't take him right now. Kareem would be a pretty good pick here, too. Another type of these, I mean, I'm going to have three backup running backs here. But it's like if the main guy goes down, these guys automatically ascend to be absolutely dominant running backs here. I'm assuming Dak's not going to be on the board, but if he is, we'll gladly take him. Just kind of write him off, though, because I imagine the odds are pretty low. Valdez comes off the board. I mean, James Cook would even be a fine pick here, too. Considering we have Diggs, we'll get a little Buffalo action. We'll have a... Because, I mean, all the players we have are on really, really good offenses. There's not a player on this team that's in a bad offense, which is nice. Those are kind of the guys I do like to draft, too. I mean, first of all, because it's fun to watch. Like, if you're in a casual fantasy league, I really like having a team like this because, like, you're going to be scoring, like, a lot of touchdowns. These teams are fun to watch, you know? So that's why I do like these kind of guys. But also, I mean, better offenses. You're going to have more touchdowns. You're going to have more fantasy points because of that. More opportunities equals more touchdowns. That's pretty much what it is. It's a loose equation, but it's pretty much true. This guy's only got one running back still. It's Rashad Penny? Oh, man. See, there comes a point, in my opinion, where you go too crazy with these high upside, high ceiling, low floor type builds, and I think this is where it starts to get a little too crazy here. I mean, his team's good, obviously, but your running backs are just so, like, bad. I mean, it is concerning. That's why I just can't do these crazy builds. I think this is about as crazy as it gets for me with the running back position, going as low as I possibly can, trying to scoop up that value late. And we did get value here with Tony Pollard, so I am fine with it. Dak does come off the board here, meaning we're probably going to be taking James Cook, most likely, which is good. We'll get our third backup guy. All these guys, good pass-catching backs who, if the main guy goes down, will be pretty damn good. That's pretty much what I'm hoping for with these guys. But it's also nice now that we don't have to take Dak, so now we just take, like, Baker Mayfield in, like, the last round or something. James Cook, wow, okay, cool. Take James Cook. Actually, didn't even look at the other wide receivers. George Pickens coming off the board pretty high, which I'm glad about in some respects because I was a huge George Pickens guy. I mean, he's one of my most owned players this season in terms of fantasy, because he was going so low. I mean, he was going behind guys like Alec Pierce. I mean, just like, what? This doesn't make any sense to me. We're probably going to we could take Stafford here, realistically. I know he's going to be dropping even more with this elbow pain. It is a little bit intimidating here. but it's Matt Stafford. I mean, if Matt Stafford plays a full 17 games, the combination of Matt Stafford and Trey Lance, which is actually my home league dynasty combination of quarterbacks, uh, is pretty good. I mean, you can't be too mad about it. Maybe I could go Patterson here. Oh. But you can't be too mad about it. We got Aaron Rodgers coming off the board as well. It is a risk. I mean, I am buying low on Stafford here, but if he doesn't end up missing any time, I think it's a good pick. I mean, anybody can get injured realistically. He's at a higher risk now to get injured, but it's worth a shot. Matt Stafford's an absolute beast. He's got a good team still. I'll take the shot on him. Especially when the next quarterbacks on the board are Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins, Tua. Stafford does come off the board here. Okay, so we're not going to be taking him, I guess. Maybe we go Julio Jones here. Go for like a really high upside wide receiver play. I kind of like vibe with that, honestly. I think that's pretty fine by me. We get Julio Jones here as a wide receiver 5. I mean, with our 4 absolutely star-studded wide receivers here, I can't be too mad. With our wide receiver 5 being Julio. The reason why I didn't take any of these guys is because, I mean, I'm just fine not. I don't really want any of these guys all that bad. Damian Harris would be the only exception to that, I guess. I maybe should have taken Damian Harris here just because he's going at such a value. But, I mean, not traditionally a pass catcher. And realistically, it's hard for me to go running backs that aren't pass catchers. Unless you're like a Derrick Henry or a Nick Chubb. It's just really hard for me to do that. Because at the end of the day, Damian Harris's 15 touchdowns is not happening again, most likely. I'd be willing to bet a fair amount of money on it. It's just pretty low. You got Ramondre Stevenson coming into the pass game, a whole new scheme for the Patriots' run game. It just is a little bit scary overall. But if you guys are enjoying this video, please go down, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Really would mean the world to me, and you guys can dominate your league mates. That's really the goal here. Absolutely destroy your coworkers, your friends, your family, everyone like that. So please subscribe. Would mean the world. We got Kenneth Walker coming off the board. I mean, I'd be fine with Cole Kmet doubling up, getting 2 good backs here. We are kind of in Darren Henderson. I could go here. A guy I do kind of like here, honestly, now. He's a guy I wasn't high on at all because traditionally the Rams have never ran a 2-back system, but now this year it really does sound like the Rams are running a committee approach, and if that's the case, I'd rather, again, take the cheaper option, as I have with all 3 of these running backs here. I mean, Devin Singletary, I guess, is going a little bit behind James Cook now, but that wasn't always the case. So that's kind of my philosophy here. Take the cheaper guys, take the guys who catch passes. Darrell Henderson, not traditionally a huge pass catcher, but I mean, he was receiving passes. I mean, 150 attempts and 30 receptions. Pretty damn good. It's really not bad. But here, I mean, if I were to be in a position, there's the 2 guys I want right now. Probably Romeo Doubs and Cole Kmet. I always do want at least a piece or 2 of this Green Bay offense. I'm so, like, I just want Green Bay as much as I can. I'll probably take Christian Watson here at 152 as well if he does fall. I think that's totally fine by me. But we're probably going to try and secure our second tight end position, and Cole Kmet's going to volume his way there. There's just no doubt in my mind about it, because there's nobody else in that offense. He does come off the board, though. I mean, any of these 3 wide receivers I would like. Looking less and less likely, though. We do have a fair amount of Dallas shares. Don't know if I want to buy in again without the quarterback. Kind of my take. Maybe we go Madison here. Another backup that I do like. I mean, he's fine, you know. A guy that if he does get the starting role, I mean, that's just fine. Like, you know, like let's say Dalvin Cook goes down, Madison's the guy. We know he's the guy. That's why I like these guys with very clear-cut situations. I mean, Isaiah Pacheco, a guy who we don't fully know exactly what he's going to be doing. Just confusing. That whole Kansas City situation is confusing. I just in these best ball leagues, I think it's better to take these type of guys in confusing situations. But in your casual fantasy leagues, I would prefer to not. Besides maybe Clyde. because Clyde could potentially be the RB1 and one of the best offenses in the entire league. Here there still are a lot of backs on the table here. We might take a fifth running back and just call it a day back here, and then just figure it out after this. It actually would be really nice to do that, so we'll probably end up doing that. I'm not too big on Naheem Hines here. A guy who does get a lot of receptions, yeah, but you figure Jonathan Taylor's going to be taking more and more of that as they realize Jonathan Taylor's the guy here. I mean, so I'm going to take Gainwell most likely. Rashad White could be actually a pretty interesting pick because there isn't much in the ways of competition. Um, Aside from Leonard Fournette, I mean, the RB2 is pretty clear. That's what I'm trying to say here. Maybe I go Pacheco here, actually. Maybe I take a shot on Pacheco. I don't really own too much of him. We do kind of want a fifth running back here. Screw it. We'll take Pacheco. Not a guy I take too often. Just a guy to shore up this RB room because we do need some clarity and sureness in this RB room, I guess, so to speak. But now at 152, I want Christian Watson and Christian Watson only. Anyone else, I would be pissed with. I'm just playing. I mean, I would take KJ Hamler as well. But we already do have Courtland Sutton, so and every draft I get, I want at least one piece of this Green Bay Packers offense, preferably two, whether it be A.J. Dillon, whether it be Christian Watson. These guys are guys I want on my fantasy team. Somebody has got to get production from Aaron Rodgers. Back-to-back MVP, Aaron Rodgers. So I will gladly take whoever's in this area. I mean, Christian Watson, hammer this man where he's going right now. Status still uncertain. I actually heard that he returned to practice today, so that was put out a day ago, according to this. So there's potentially just come back to practice. But right now I'm a little nervous. There's just so many running backs, all this quarterbacks, tight ends, running backs on the board here, but people are starting to push up these wide receivers a little bit later into this draft, which kind of stinks for us because we were hoping now this is the range we do want to get these wide receivers yet again. Kenny Golladay falling down these boards. Guy looks so bad in Giants training camp. I mean, it's actually scary how terrible he looks. It hurts my feelings. We signed this man 4 years, $72 million, and he's terrible. He's awful. But I mean, here I think there's pretty much no chance we get Christian Watson just because of the way the board looks. Robbie Anderson coming off the board. I mean, gotta be one twisted dude to be taking Robbie Anderson in your fantasy team. Nah, just kidding. Robbie Anderson, an interesting pick here. You do have like a pretty interesting team. He's got 8 wide receivers already, only 2 running backs. One of them being Dameon Pierce, the other one being Jonathan Taylor. I mean, he's running a pretty hero RB strategy here, which is fine. I'm not faulting that. I think at this point it's fine to run a dude like that. We got Kenny Golladay off the board, KJ Hamler as well. Yeah, there's pretty much no chance we get Christian Watson here. It would take a Christmas miracle just because of the amount of wide receivers that have been taken here. It would be nice to see a little bit of these quarterbacks, tight ends coming off the board, as we did see Aaron Smith come off here. But we don't need any more running backs, so but none of these guys really do either. They need quarterbacks, they need tight ends. So let's see. I mean, it is possible we do make it out with Watson, but the odds are still low. Like I said, this guy's only got 5 wide receivers as well. So, I mean, most likely he will be taking Christian Watson here. He's got Rondell. I do like this wide receiver core, though. Tua off the board as well. We are 1 pick away. Status still uncertain. Maybe that scares him off. Smush, smush. We'll see, though. He goes, Alec. Why do I keep doing that? Albert, equipment on here. We get Watson. Let's go. A little surprised. I'm actually presently really surprised that we got him here, but that's fine by me. Now in the next round, I mean, I'd be fine with Alec Pierce. I'd be fine with Wandale. There's a lot of guys I like here. We also probably should secure another tight end. Njoku could be an interesting guy. Hurst could be an interesting guy. Let's just see my picks here. We might be going Hayden Hurst here, pick 176. I think that's fine because that's where his ADP is. I'm just trying to hammer these wide receivers here while we can. Jameson Williams, Van Jefferson, Alec Pierce, these 3 guys, any of them I would be fine with here. We got 3 picks away. Secure our wide receiver 7 here. We do have a really, really good wide receiver core, but it never hurts to get more. So we will be having 9 wide receivers in this build. It's going to be 2 quarterback, 5 running back, 9 wide receivers, and 2 tight ends here. We're going to take an Alec Pierce here just because he is in line for wide receiver 2 duties. In this Colts offense, I'm not 100% sure it's going to happen. Paris Campbell could still be that dude, but we don't know yet as of yet. And right now, I'd rather take the risk on Alec Pierce here. Get our second rookie of the squad, or actually our third total rookie of the squad with Pacheco. Oh, fourth actually with James Conner too. We're just adding rookies now. Hopefully some of them can pop off, They do have pretty big roles in their offenses, or should from year one, so that's the hope. We're 13 picks away now, though. I'm fine with Njoku. I'm fine with securing another tight end, securing another wide receiver here, and then trying to take one of these quarterbacks. Actually, Daniel Jones is still on the board. I was going to say that would be nice, but Trey Lance with the week 9 bye. No, we can't do that. So we're going to be going Zach Wilson most likely. We're going to be taking these 2 sophomore year quarterbacks here. I'm just hoping Trey Lance is that guy that we think he is, because if that's the case, then him and Zach Wilson together, I'd be fine with, to be honest with you. I mean, I think it's a pretty good team. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I mean, it is a pretty interesting team build. We did go running back super duper late, which is not something I generally do. This guy has done it even later than I have, but it's probably just because he got the first pick. He was saying, oh, okay, I really want to take advantage of my hero RB strategy. And I think when you get a guy like Jonathan Taylor, it's really much easier to take a hero RB strategy approach, where you just get 1 or maybe 2 really good RBs and then just call it a day at the position and just try and figure out value much, much later. I think it's fine. He probably will be taking running back soon, though. A guy like Tyrion Davis-Price comes to mind here because it does make sense. I mean, he can possibly have starting duties. Odds are low, but they're there. I would be fine. I can't take Njoku, actually. I can't take Njoku. Njoku's got a week 9 bye. Schultz is a week 9 bye. Normally, I don't care, but in these onesie positions, I have to care just because I don't want to have no production. I don't have no production there. It just doesn't make sense. And I can't have a 3 tight end build here because we do have 5 running backs. I mean, it's just not possible to do. Actually, maybe we could. Maybe we could. Nah, I don't think it's worth it, actually. I think Dalton Schultz is fine enough to where we don't have to do something like that. Isaiah Likely coming off the board. Another training camp winner. He's going to be a guy storing up boards. It's been known that he is going to be having a pretty big role. I don't know how huge of a receiving role he's going to be having. He was getting a lot of targets in preseason, I will say that much. But the thing is, you got Mark Andrews there. I mean, I guess they'll probably be running 2 tight end sets there then. I mean, that would be my understanding. We are most likely going to be taking Hayden Hurst here, I think. I'm just calling it a day at tight end, which is nice. I'm fine with that. Impressive start to camp. Wow. Deshaun Watson coming off the board at 172 here. Yeah, we're definitely going to be taking Hayden Hurst. I think that's totally fine by me. Hayden Hurst, and then probably another wide receiver here. These wide receivers are pretty gross, though. These wide receivers are really gross. So maybe we do snag another quarterback. This quarterback's really gross. Jared Goff could be fine. I can't believe Ryan Tannehill had 7 rushing touchdowns last season. Man, it just doesn't even look real. Either way, though, let's get Hayden Hurst here. A guy who we've seen in the Cincinnati offense, they have tight ends who do have boom weeks, and that's why I like Hayden Hurst here. That's kind of my main philosophy with it. I don't think Hayden Hurst is really all that talented. When you're taking your tight end too, unless you're getting a really high end tight end too, like a Zach Ertz type character, I mean, there's just no point. I'm just looking for workload here, and potentially Hayden Hurst will have some. Maybe I probably will go Jared Goff here. We really don't have any Zach Wilson stacks to really care about. Specifically gone with Zach Ertz, did I say? Zach Wilson here. So we're probably gonna go Jared Goff, unless there's any quarterbacks that really catch our eye. Jared Goff is off the board here. Tannehill I am nervous about. I'm gonna be 100% honest. Maybe we go Wentz. I think Wentz is probably the move here. We're gonna go Carson Wentz. And I'm going to call it a video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys do have a great day. I hope you guys subscribe to the channel, give this video a like and a comment. And please have a good day, a good night, and a good life.